What's going on, guys? It's your boy Nick from Mysarium, and this is kind of a, well, I mean, it's 2025 now, but it's kind of a 2024 year-end update slash 2025 preview slash medical update kind of thing. It's a whole bunch of stuff all wrapped up in one, so let's enjoy this time together, and we'll go from there. So, first and foremost, let's get all the negative stuff out of the way. So, I went through a lot of medical problems in the past 2 years, and a lot of them just kind of culminated and came to a head this past year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what's been going on. So first and foremost, I've had tailbone problems or lower back problems for my entire, well, not my entire life, since I was 14. I took a fall when I was 14, really hard directly on my tailbone, heard a snap, my dad heard it, I walked funny for 3 weeks, fine. I had an x-ray done in my early 20s. I had bursitis in my hips, or in my right hip, because I was compensating from the fall because I broke the growth plate in my left hip, so my left leg was an inch shorter than my right leg. I wore a heel lift for years, and then that ended up screwing my back up. So we finally got like a more recent official x-ray done, and what I'm going to do here is open... Okay, that works. I don't know. Alright, whatever. Okay, so for the official diagnosis on my tailbone, it says here there are 3 distinct coccygeal segments with anterior angulation of approximately 70 degrees, so anterior meaning inward, I think. I believe so. I could be wrong. I'm not a medical professional. There's no focal edema or discrete fracture, so there's nothing broken, and it doesn't look like there's any fluid surrounding it. No fracture is evident, and there's no suspicious bone lesions, so there's nothing growing off of it or anything like that. No periosteal edema or fluid collections are evident in the surrounding tissues, so again, nothing, no fluid buildup. Remaining visualized bones are within normal limits. Sacroiliac joints are unremarkable. Limited imaging of the pelvic viscera is unremarkable. So everything else looks okay. However, they say that 70 degrees is within normal for a bend in the tailbone. I'm inclined to disagree, and this is why. Here's, tailbone, bends, goes straight, and then whack, crunch. That's a 70-degree angle right there. That nice separation pointing inwards, directly going towards like my upper pelvis, and like that's my hip joint. That's my femur bone right there. That little socket there, that's my femur. Tailbone shouldn't be there, maybe like here, and it should be kind of curved out, like, or curved like this. No, it's bend, straight, crunch. So again, this is why sitting for too long, standing for too long, doing any activities for too long, even laying down for too long on my back is painful. So yeah, that's one reason why I can't hang around at shows the way I used to anymore. It kind of sucks, like a lot, on top of the anxiety stuff. So that's the tailbone, okay? That happened when I was 14. And then my next most recent one is my neck, which has been giving me issues. So we will read my neck diagnosis, which says C6 and C7 diffuse disc osteophyte complex results in mild spinal canal stenosis with moderate bilateral neuroforaminal narrowing. So what that means is a disc osteophyte, and osteophyte is a bone spur. So I've got bone spurs in my neck. And then I also have spinal canal stenosis. So stenosis means narrowing. And the spinal canal, it's not like your spinal cord, it's the space where your nerves go through. The nerves that send signals to your extremities and everything. the space where those nerves are going through is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And on top of that, I've got bone spurs that are rubbing against the nerves. So you can imagine something sharp and pointy hitting on, you know, a nerve, which when you hit your funny bone, you're hitting a nerve and it's like, ugh, and it's a tendon too and all that, you know what I mean. But you hit that, it's like, holy crap, that's so painful. Imagine that without hitting your elbow and having it all day, every day. That's what I have now. And then at C5 and C6, so the space higher than the osteophytes, left eccentric disc, so the left side, the bone spurs are mostly on the right side. The left side between C5 and C6, the left eccentric disc osteophyte complex results in mild left accentral spinal canal stenosis with mild left neuroforaminal narrowing. So I do have some bone spurs on that side, but I also have a disc bulge on the left side, one spot higher. And then the asymmetrical signal abnormality in the left hemitongue, that's my lymphangioma. I've had that since I was born. That's nothing new. The reason I went there is because history of upper extremity numbness and radicular pain. Numbness in right wrist and hand. 2 months, no known trauma. I started experiencing numbness in my right pinky, which I still have, my left ring finger, which I have, and if you were to hold your hand this way, the bottom half, or if you were to hold your hand this way, the right side of my middle finger. That's the funny thing, and the doctor asked, he's like, it's going to sound like a silly question, there's only one side, or one half of your middle finger numb. I'm like, yeah, if I were to hold my hand this way, it's the bottom side. So that's ulnar nerve, which means it's coming from neck down the back of my arm, up over my elbow, into my ulnar nerve, into my hand. So I have full feeling and touch and everything in these two fingers. I have it literally half in this finger, and no more real feeling in these two fingers. The left eccentric spinal canal stenosis is mild, so I do have some narrowing on the left side. The right side between C6 and C7 here is moderate. It's not severe, but it's getting there. So it's so let's just say this is my left side, this is my right side. This is normal. Left side is like this. Right side is like this. It's like a oval. Instead of a circle, it's an oval. So it's like, so I'm still getting signals, but a lot of it is pain. So the reason I found this out is years ago I had x-rays done and they said that I had degeneration between C5, it was either C4, 5, and 6, or 5, 6, and 7, I think it was 4, 5, and 6. They told me it was called rocker's neck. It's totally common in people that headbang a lot, and not that it's a good thing, but it's common. But now we're at this point where I have limited use of my right hand. Well, not limited use, and the only reason I say limited use is because of the pain that I'm in. I can grab stuff, so I'll give you an example. I have my guitar here. I can do this pretty much no problem. I feel it a little bit in my elbow, no big deal. Okay, I'm going to pick it up with my left arm. Okay, it's not a big guitar, it's a 6-string Jackson with a Floyd. Okay, nothing massive, nothing big, right? I'm going to pick it up with my right arm. I can get to about here before it starts really hurting. And this, I'm not exaggerating. It's not that I'm weak. It's not that my muscles aren't working. It's that my nerves are on fucking fire. It feels like somebody, if you've ever gotten tennis elbow, or, you know, smacked your funny bone really hard and it would even hurt like the next day. It feels like that, on top of somebody taking the tendons and shortening them, so my arm is either locked in this position or tightening them, like pushing them apart, I guess, when my arm is in this position. So if I'm in this position for a long time, I can't go back out here without pain. And if I'm in this position for a long time, I can't go back here without pain. So I have to constantly keep it moving, or else I'm going to be in pain constantly with my arm. My neck is not straight either. They told me it is twisted up and to the right. And you can see that. It kind of comes to the left and goes to the right. You can see my head kind of goes like this a little bit at the top. And it's a very slight, left to right. Obviously, this is a frontal image. So it's like my neck is going like this and my head kind of tilts this way normally. And that's because of how fucked up my neck is. And then this is an image of my chin touching my chest. Like this. With my chin touching my chest, I don't think C1 should still be tilting back. So if I'm going like this, standing straight up, touching my chin to my chest, the very top cervical, I don't think should be tilting this way or look like it is. It should kind of be tilting forward. But it looks like C1 and C2 are like, we're just going to stay straight. I mean, look at all of them. They're not even bent. They're straight. I mean, I was looking at x-rays before I made this video to make sure that I'm not talking out of my ass. It's not the worst that I saw, but it's definitely not the best. And I'm not trying to make you guys, feel bad for Nick or anything. No, this is literally just clarification as to why I am where I am, what I'm doing, why I'm trying to get better, how I can get better, things that are going to work, things that aren't going to work. This is just an all-encompassing, this is what's going on right now. And again, this is just me. I could be 100% wrong. I'm not a medical professional. All I know is that they're telling me shit don't look good. It's not, again, not the worst, not the best. So I'm not, super upset about anything. So the reason I really started pushing for that imaging is because I started getting these really severe burning pains going from my neck into basically my tricep down so pretend this is my spine and pretend you're looking at my back, the right side of my spine, like in my shoulder area, to the point where across my shoulder blade I would get muscle spasms that were like the size of 3 massive people's fingers just on my back. They felt like ropes. But my whole right side is constantly tight. My left side is almost always constantly tight. And it's because the disc bulge and the osteophytes, or the bone spurs or everything, are constantly rubbing. And the narrowing of the neural foramen is constantly pushing on the nerves and saying, hey, guess what? You suck. You're in pain. And it's just gotten worse to the point where now it's causing muscle spasms. Not ideal. So 2024, I had 2 potential seizures as well. Neither were caused by anything. Both times I was sitting in my recliner, watching YouTube, not thinking of anything, just straight up relaxing. Next thing I know, for the first one, I'm waking up covered in sweat and I had pissed myself. That's kind of scary. Now that first one was like 1:30 in the afternoon. I was like, I don't know, half an hour after I ate my lunch. I was relaxed. I was perfectly fine. And the next thing I know, bam, I'm waking up completely emptied of all of the water in my body in every way possible. The only thing I didn't do is crap my pants, and I'm happy about that. I can handle peeing at myself, but crap my pants, man, and then the second one was, I don't know, a couple months later, a month or 2 later. That one was at 12:30 a.m. It was a little after midnight. I'd smoked a little bit of weed, and I stayed awake through that one. And I think the only reason I stayed awake through that one was because I smoked. And I know that they're set off by stress and anxiety because it's the only thing that could cause them. I had an EEG on June 4th. I had an MRI on my actual brain on June 27th. Both showed absolutely no issues with my brain whatsoever, which is surprising. But yeah, they didn't see anything epileptic related or any sort of like misfires or anything like that. So everything came back normal. The only thing that points to is stress and anxiety, which is great. So I've got anxiety so bad that it can cause a seizure. Fun. But that's what meds are for, right? Yeah, let's just keep feeding meds. So now I'm on pain management, and I do my best to stay at shows for as long as I can until I'm either too anxious or too in pain to be able to stay anymore. And it fucking sucks. I'm fucking sucks, because it makes me feel like a hypocrite, because it makes me feel like, oh hey, I'm the one telling people to stay at shows all the time and I leave. I hate it. But that's just my life right now, unfortunately. And for the foreseeable future. Simply because with the neck stuff, there's no fix. There's no cure. The best thing that they can do, other than the pain management meds that I'm on now, is shoot a needle in my neck. And that is a 50% efficacy rate, and the maximum it'll work is 6 months. Minimum it can work is 3. So I have an opportunity to either go to the doctor 4 or 2 times a year, so 3 months or 6 months, for that shot to only have a 50% chance to work every time I go in there. I'm terrified of needles. On top of that, you really think I'm going to go to a doctor 4 times a year to shoot a needle in my neck for something that's not even guaranteed to work more than 50% of the time? Hell no. If the pain were more consistent, yeah, maybe. But no, I think pain management can help for now. I mean, I still have breakthroughs. Like, I'm on some pretty high doses of pretty strong medications, and I still have breakthroughs. But yeah, so that's really what's been going on. But on to positive stuff. I have an album scheduled to come out, meaning they're all finished and they just are going to come out every month for the year of 2025. I don't have to write anything for the year of 2025 if I wanted to, because I have an album coming out every month, so that's pretty cool. And I got a couple plugins that are going to completely change my mixing and production game. So you're going to be hearing throughout the year better and better quality recordings. But then by the end of the year into 2026, you're going to be hearing some Gucci stuff. Okay? That's part of the reason I do Mysarium the way I do too, is because it's like you guys get to kind of experience my getting betterness with me. And then the last thing is that I've got almost 1,000 songs, guys. I've got almost 1,000 songs. I can't keep all these for myself, so I am actually trying to sell my music either to artists or labels, or even if artists want a hand with writing, I'm offering that too. You know, professional composer, ghostwriter stuff, man, I'm open for that. I've been wanting to do that for a long time, and I've got some opportunities potentially lined up, and I think that's awesome. Yeah, that's the good news in all of this, and that could help me with my financial situation, because I'm effectively unemployed 3 hours a week when we're in session, and we haven't been in session for almost 6 weeks. Start back up next week. But yeah, so hopefully that goes somewhere. That'd be sick if I could sell some of my library on top of the stuff that I haven't even put out yet. Like, I have a whole album of like post-hardcore pop punk influence stuff that I'm trying to sell to either, you know, whether it's the whole album or a couple songs off the album or whatever. Working on that. And then I've got a whole basically video game soundtrack being worked on, written up, that whole project sort of fell aside, so maybe I'll sell that. We'll see. So, guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, week, month, 2025, whatever. I'm gonna do my best to make the best of it. So, be cool, don't suck. Have a good one.